messenger, I'm just speaking for Mother Nature. That life support you like the pimp to see how much she makes you. You burn bridges with Creator like it's nothing major. It's time to rebirth the green earth to cultivate you. It's been a long time since love was truthfully known. Angels come in the flesh, wait for the proof to be shown, so they can rise up and claim the future they own. What we refer to today as heaven is usually home, where seeds of freedom and liberty used to be sown, and the soul's the soil where the roots could be grown. I whisper truth in the kids' ears in nursery rhyme, in a soft, low, gentle tone. It works every time, cause they know more than women and men. The whole story beginning to end, and that the light of God is living in them. Life is illusion, reality's what you think is pretend, and alchemy's like the freedom of the ink in your pen to create anything. So how much longer will you be gone? Cause it's been a long time since we seen your faces back home, up in the stars where you belong. Don't you remember the flow, the universal song? Or has it been too long? Something just isn't right, it feels so wrong. There's so much love in the great unknown, so I guess my only question is, when are you coming home? I've been sitting on the sun, shedding light on people. For lifetimes I lived a free man and fight all evil. It made me sad when I watched her cry, and it always made her mad when she watched you die at young ages for no good reason. Stop moving back and start forward leaping. It's been a long time since she saw those dimples, and if this whole time you only knew it was all so simple. If you could dream it, you could do it. Any goal you set, you can achieve if you pursue it. It's been a long, long time since we've seen so many eyes twinkle. Don't run inside when the gods make the sky sprinkle, because rain brings us life, and life's what we need. Cause folks walk around dead with the right to be free, to discover who they are and just rightfully be. Cause Lord knows I shouldn't have to fight to be me, you know. So how much longer will you be gone? Cause it's been a long time since we seen your faces back home, up in the stars where you belong. Don't you remember the flow, the universal song? Or has it been too long? Something just isn't right, it feels so wrong. There's so much love in the great unknown, so I guess my only question is, when are you coming home? It's been a long time since God's hand shined upon mankind with the divine answers they can't find. Religion's distorted truth, this is the sword of truth. Brought us proof with the new world for the youth. The reason things happen before midnight strikes is to avoid growing up to have a midlife crisis. Realizing life is supposed to be just like your childhood, priceless, when you were naturally righteous and things were in perspective according to you, not everybody else's point of view. It's sad but true, don't bite the hand that feeds you, and for Yeshua's sake, don't pollute the very source of every breath you take. Be mindful of every choice and every step you take. Right your wrongs and clean up every mess you make. The fresh air and prayer will take care of that stress you create. And when that seventh trumpet blows, just know it's never too late to come home. So how much longer will you be gone? Cause it's been a long time since we see your faces back home, up in the stars where you belong. Don't you remember the flow, the universal song? Or has it been too long? Something just isn't right, it feels so wrong. There's so much love in the great unknown, so I guess my only question is, when are you coming home? How much longer will you be gone? Cause it's been a long time since we seen your faces back home, up in the stars where you belong. Don't you remember the flow, the universal song? Or has it been too long? Something just isn't right, it feels so wrong. There's so much love in the great unknown, so I guess my only question is, when are you coming home?
The magnetic theory is based upon a very simple fact, namely that what we call empty air is not empty at all. It is the most profoundly used all the elements that we know anything about. We all live within air and have our being, and we know that if air fails, we die. But what we do not realize is that air is not just, it's some oxygen or helium or something of this nature. Air is something in itself. It is a substance of itself. It is a substance so real and so important that it's almost impossible to estimate. It is a tremendous field of magnetic energy.
When the darkness falls, be a beacon of light, and keep the faith when doubt creeps in like a thief in the night. Let your light body shine, make that diamond spin. Don't look outside of yourself, find the divine within. Walk blindfolded through a bed of burning hot coals. Destination unknown, really only God knows. No religious hypocrisy or preaching to the choir, just touching the source of all that is by reaching through the fire. Work with energy alchemically to move through the elements and transform into an entity of super intelligence. The light within will lead to our creator above. We're one family and there's no power greater than love. So we need people, music, beauty, and laughter. To be evil is to truly live backward. Don't fear the unknown, it's only an X factor. It's time to come home and open up to the next chapter. It's do or die, you and I, we should unify. There's no need to flee, when you're free, you can fly. Birds of a feather merging together, unifying as one on a certain endeavor. This is do or die, you and I, we should unify. There's no need to flee, when you're free, you can fly. Birds of a feather merging together, unifying as one on a certain endeavor.
This area of energy forms an egg-like atmospheric sheet around the physical body, 3 to 5 feet from it in each direction. This energy field is the basis of virtue.
It could restore health to a cancer patient. You could do anything through the law of transmutation, like turning lead into gold and water to wine. Let the fiery kundalini creep and crawl up your spine. Eternity is not forever, it's timelessness. It's the here and now present moment where I exist. Inside of this vibrating electromagnetic field that deflects all negative energy like a magic shield.
In other words, this magnetic field forms a tremendous protection as long as the individual takes proper care of his magnetic field. It will serve him.
It's do or die, you and I, we should unify. There's no need to flee, when you're free, you can fly. Birds of a feather merging together, unifying as one on a certain endeavor. Let's do or die, you and I, we should unify. There's no need to flee, when you're free, you can fly. Birds of a feather merging together, unifying as one on a certain endeavor. Anyone who's ever been to this planet was heaven sent, originally innocent and perfectly benevolent. You're eternal and infinite, no beginning or end to it. You're magically magnetic, if you could only remember it. It's do or die, you and I, we should unify. There's no need to flee, when you're free, you can fly. Birds of a feather merging together, unifying as one on a certain endeavor. This is do or die, you and I, we should unify. There's no need to flee, when you're free, you can fly. Birds of a feather merging together, unifying as one on a certain endeavor. Now,
the moment we break rules, we damage that magnetic flow. We have got to keep the laws of nature, and these in turn are the laws of God, or the magnetic field fails.
you gotta go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. Sometimes it moves fast, same time it moves slow. Up, down and around, above and below. Just go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. You gotta go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. Sometimes it moves fast, same time it moves slow. Up, down and around, above and below. Just go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. I follow the flow or down. I live in the moment's now. It's always now, it never isn't. And if you never been here, I suggest you visit. It's where creation unfolds, it's timeless, eternal. It's easy to experience, but hard to journal, my friend. Cause once you leave, the moment's gone. And as you recall the details, the flow moves on. But if you live in the flow and follow your path, You're bound to wake up and you'll probably laugh, because you find you got the whole world at your fingertips. You feel the power in your bones and your ligaments, and all your cells will dance the dance of Shiva. You'll remember your light and overcome your amnesia. So go with your heart and follow the flow. Just don't think too hard, cause in the now you just know. Gotta go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. Sometimes it moves fast, same time it moves slow. Up, down and around, above and below. Just go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. You gotta go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. Sometimes it moves fast, same time it moves slow. Up, down and around, above and below. Just go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. You can hear a quiet voice if you listen. It whispers, you call that your intuition. It's your inner guidance system, everyone gets them. They're from the spiritual world and inspire this one. So just be here now, be here now, be here now, be here now, be here now. Go with your heart and follow your gut, or your own thoughts can swallow you up. So you don't wanna be in your head. Wake up and open your mind's eye. Don't even sleep when you're dead. Just live in the moment and live forevermore, and be forever young. It isn't a metaphor, nope. The time is right, the time is right now for you to shine your light and enliven your lifestyle. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it so? When you live in the flow, didn't you know? But no one ever knows where the flow's gonna go. So you just kinda gotta go with the flow. You gotta go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. Sometimes it moves fast, same time it moves slow. Up, down and around, above and below. Just go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. You gotta go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. Sometimes it moves fast, same time it moves slow. Up, down and around, above and below. Just go with the flow, cause it's real, you know. It moves fast, same time it moves slow.
You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Symbol of deity, not only a symbol of purification, not only a symbol of light, not only an emblem of the sun. It is more than any and all of this. Fire is the symbol of the power that works the great alchemical regeneration. Fire is the temperer of iron, and by means of it iron is hardened into steel, and from this steel is fashioned the sword Excalibur, and it is also the sword of Damocles, hanging over the banquet of Dionysus of Syracuse, the sword suspended by a single hair, which can fall and destroy man. It is the two-edged sword coming out of the mouth of the great figure of Revelation. It is the golden blazing sword of the cherubs guarding the gates of Eden. This sword is a flame.
The fresh air makes it easy to breathe. Besides that, really nothing on this earth is free. But you can manifest whatever you desire when you're fresh out the water and baptized in fire. The fresh air makes it easy to breathe. Besides that, you get nothing in this world for free. But you can have anything that you desire. Come, Holy Holy Spirit, ignite my soul fire. Wake up, that soul within. The golden gates are open for us to come home again. Listen for love, sweet melody. The truth set me free. Fill me up with ecstasy and put out the fires of hell in me. Like everyone else, I received free will. Had to go inside myself. Shh, peace, be still. My blood rushed with more force than explosions of holy war. My spirit fire took me higher than I've ever flown before. I couldn't fight it or even describe it. It's like a dream that felt so good I could scream. It might have seemed I was too far gone, but I found God and you thought wrong all along. It's like lightning striking and grabbing instant fame. A buzzer shot swish in a championship game. And make the most depressed folks so happy it's insane. And have amputated soldiers dancing in the rain. The fresh air makes it easy to breathe. Besides that, really nothing on this earth is free. But you can manifest whatever you desire when you're fresh out the water and baptized in fire. The fresh air makes it easy to breathe. Besides that, you get nothing in this world for free. But you can have anything that you desire. Come, Holy Spirit, ignite my soul fire. Get down to heavenly sounds on destiny's dance floor. Celebrate that life you so desperately swam for. You're divine when you find your childhood innocence. Relax and stay grounded, cause the vibes could get intense. Don't waste it, embrace it. Though it might just seem like a dream, your light body shines a righteous beam to the heavens above as evidence of the fact that all your soul remembers is love, pure love. Follow the light down the righteous path. If you're humble when you stumble, you might just laugh. But if we really don't care, we won't change. Only we could break free from our very own chains. Channel your thoughts beyond your stereo's range. It's like a dream, but not scary or strange. Get centered and grounded and embrace the energy. It's the universal negativity remedy. The fresh air makes it easy to breathe. Besides that, really nothing on this earth is free. But you can manifest whatever you desire when you're fresh out the water and baptized in fire. The fresh air makes it easy to breathe. Besides that, you get nothing in this world for free. But you can have anything that you desire. Come, Holy Spirit, ignite my soul fire. It gets no realer than real life's original source. Spiritual truth never applies physical force. Never live in fear and you'll never live in remorse. We're some living souls pulling puppet strings on a corpse. The sign of the time is the crystal indigo cross. We're the map makers of our individual course. We manifest our destiny when we speak with passion. As long as our words are backed up with equal action. When we look inside and we find our inner peace, there's no more need for violence and warfare or in the streets. We could build a safe world for our kids to play if we let go of yesterday and just live today. Anything you need, Holy Spirit, please come through. It's like a dream, and believe me, dreams come true. Don't try to sell your soul, some things you can't buy. Love for the sake of love itself, and you can fly. The fresh air makes it easy to breathe. Besides that, really nothing on this earth is free. But you can manifest whatever you desire when you're fresh out the water and baptized in fire. The fresh air makes it easy to breathe. Besides that, you get nothing in this world for free. But you can have anything that you desire. Come, Holy Spirit, ignite my soul fire. 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 Ignite my soul fire.
This fire is also the light that lighteth every man that cometh into the world. This fire, which burns forever upon the altar of the human being, is the fire of life, the fire in the blood, the fire in the heart, which is truly the living altar of the soul. The soul, the soul.
alchemical transformation station. USA, we finally have cancer patients blazing the way, shown to the seeker that knocks on the door. Discover all this ancient sacred art's responsible for everything from the Tao Te Ching and emerald tablets to the ingenious invention of incredible gadgets. Inner balance is the key to the alchemical marriage, where children of light unite with their original parents. Believer, non-believer, master and an apprentice, all daughters and sons of the one creator's descendants. Infinite and eternal, the possibilities endless. Nothing lies beyond the grasp of a spiritual chemist. They try to disprove the truth, well they can have at it. It takes 21 days to break a bad habit, and 90 reps for 90 days to form a new one. Transmute those grimy ways and shine bright as the noon sun. Rule 1, without exception, we're all one. There's one source of all life from whom we're all from. Rule 2, everything has its opposite counterpart. You couldn't comprehend the light without the dark. Rule 3, everything's in constant motion, vibrating through an infinite cosmic ocean. Rule 4, a pure heart is better than gold. Any blessings you bestow return 70-fold. Drink from the fountain of youth and never phase with old age. Withstand storms and transform to change my old ways. From blind kid in the wilderness to wise old sage. From little actor in the play to bigger than the whole stage. The cycles never end, I go beyond the gold phase to that great white light encompassing all the rays. Nowadays spirituality's all the rage, but some are deceived by beings from lower planes and call them mage. If you listen close to whispering ghosts speaking in your ear, those voices from the astral and the ethers that you hear, you'll learn to discern when one deceiving you is near. And when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Then every single message you receive is true and clear. Then start filling you with light and releasing you with fear. And when you start to question everything you've ever been told, that's when the process begins of turning, letting it go. Rule 5, nothing happens by chance or coincidence. It happens for a reason, even if it don't make any sense. Rule 6, every cause has its effects, and all energy comes back to the one who projects it. Rule 7, everything in this world we live in has its time cycle and season, governed by rhythm. Rule 8, give and take to maintain balance. Reciprocate equal exchange is the main challenge. When the fire rises up, it doesn't end at the crown, and when it's descended back down, it doesn't end at the ground. We connect to all that is, as above, so below, and no matter what, you're always loved, just so you know. Step into the light and step out of the horror show, and shine so bright people can see your aura glow. Go with the flow, even the fauna and flora know, and maintain the same frame of mind at 99 and 4 below. You can transmute the horrible into adorable. The miracles they said are mythical or historical, so forget what they told you, the BS they sold you. Stand guard against those below you trying to control you. If you're patient, there's a transformation station you can go through. Transmute the letter that old you into the gold you. Don't settle for letting someone else mold you. It's a metaphor, cause metal ores transform like souls do. Rule 9, anything you want you can have it. Like attracts like, and you're a magical magnet. Rule 10, it's not enough just to believe it. You gotta take the proper actions to receive it. Rule 11, on earth as it is in heaven, as above so below, as without so within. Rule 12, a higher vibe transmutes a lower one, and love is the highest, so all else can be overcome. Love is the highest, so all else can be overcome. Love vibrates the highest, so all else can be overcome. What goes up must come down, and what goes around comes right back around. As the pendulum swings, nations rise and fall, but love always conquers all. It's cosmic law. Here and now, listen for that quiet voice and you hear it somehow. Close your eyes, go inside and find peace within. May the suffering end, may the adventure begin. Feel the pain fade away and releasing the fire when you open your heart and raise your frequency higher. I know this painful cycle's hard to get out of, but life's too short to live without love. Know that everything you do affects everyone else, and what we do to one another we do to ourselves. It's time to lay down the swords, no more settling scores. Why don't we close those doors and put an end to our wars? I'm not saying hold hands and sing kumbaya. Peace be still and know this world's ruled by Jah. Help each other rise this I know for certain. Got an answer for our days when we close the curtain. Every day all year is the season of love. Don't ask why, just because it's reason enough. But some don't like one another, much less love each other. The world's consumed by ignorance and pride. But that man's your brother regardless of skin color. So can we put our differences aside now and let go of the past and live here and the now? Listen for that quiet voice and you'll hear it somehow. Close your eyes, go inside and find peace within. May the suffering end, may the adventure begin. Feel the pain fade away and releasing the fire when you open your heart and raise your frequency higher. I know this painful cycle's hard to get out of, but life's too short to live without love. Let's create a safe world and let the children play. I don't judge, but I don't trust those who don't feel this way. I'm not mad at you, I feel bad for you. I'm just sad for you, I advocate for kids, plus I'm a daddy too. Some people will die for their piece of the pie, but you're a star, so work hard, there's no reaching too high. Set your goal, next thing you know, you'll be reaching the sky. Cause don't you know you're a soul, and that means you can fly. Show your people that you care and share one last dance. Cause you never really know when it's your last chance. Every day all year is a season of love. Don't ask why, just because it's reason enough. But some don't like one another, much less love each other. The world's consumed by ignorance and pride. But that man's your brother regardless of skin color. So can we put our differences aside now and let go of the past and live here in the now? Listen for that quiet voice and you'll hear it somehow. Close your eyes, go inside and find peace within. May the suffering end, may the adventure begin. Feel the pain fade away and releasing the fire when you open your heart and raise your frequency higher. I know this painful cycle's hard to get out of, but life's too short to live without love. Just doing my alchemical thing. So you wanna learn how to turn, letting it go. And our soul ancient, but it never gets old. I still see a life as sip from the infinite spring. I'm just doing my alchemical. When we're born, we're just like a seed in the dirt. When it's time to grow up, best believe it'll hurt. We do all sorts of things to see if it works. It's awkward like elephants trying to squeeze into shirts. And so the journey begins, discovering who you are, knowing hiding deep inside you is a superstar. That eye that's trying to find out what am I? A caterpillar not knowing this to become a butterfly. Then you gotta do certain things to earn your wings. And sometimes the sunshine burns or stings. You start caring about what another person thinks. Till healing fills your aura with purples and pinks. Because you know me immortal, you beautiful stardust. A living, breathing soul. If you don't know, your heart does. Life is a game, truthfully designed for you to be the best version of you that you can be. So you wanna learn how to turn, letting it go, and understand the greatest stories that have ever been told. That enthusiast isn't just a medical thing, it's the symbol of healing and alchemical things. So you wanna learn how to turn, letting it go. You gotta forget about everything you ever been told. You need the heart of a lion and the head of a king. If you wanna understand it's alchemical. There's a place I know where the mushrooms grow, where you may grow old, but you'll age real slow. Where the stars are vast and they always glow, and the sun shines bright. In this place I know, there I listen to what the trees have to say, and I listen to what the breeze has to say. And then I try my best to absorb it all before the fall, when all the leaves pass away. And then winter arrives and things start to crystallize. More chances to look your loved ones in the eyes. Then the sun shines again and we spring back to life. I live in the rhythm and write it down in black and white. Every fierce little boy and every bold little girl knows they're worth more than all the gold in the world. But if you stay a kid at heart, then you'll never get old. That's the real secret behind turning lead into gold. So you wanna learn how to turn lead into gold. Don't think it's hell's hot there, heaven is cold. Gold on, on my chain with an emerald ring. Come and find me, I'll be doing my alchemical thing. So you wanna learn how to turn lead into gold. Where the fire is the spirit and the metal's the soul. I'm only a lowly poet, I never could sing. It's the language of the birds and alchemical thing. You wanna learn this Bashara card? It's written on an emerald tablet inside your heart. rises, water melts and freezes. The night turns to day, but only stays till it leaves us. Everything changes and passes with the seasons, and every single thing that happens for a reason. Some days it thunders and rains, others are quite dry, and the signs appear at their times up in the night sky. Calm before the storm, tempers rise and fall in the universal law. Rhythms behind it all. Day turns to night, and night turns to day, and black turns to white, and white turns to gray, and winter turns to spring, and summer turns to fall as the pendulum swings. It's universal law. The sun sets and rises, tides ebb and flow, and the moon decides whether they're high or they're low. The birds fly south and then back up north. Give and take relationships going back and forth. Everything that's ever been can be found on the spectrum, where everything has its own frequency and reflection, and everyone has a unique vibrational signature, and that's why no one's exactly the same. I'm pretty sure we're all one. Know there's infinite types of souls, all living in different rhythms as life unfolds, with the patterns of Venus and Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Neptune, Mercury, Sun, Moon, and the stars. The sun sets and rises, water melts and freezes. The night turns to day, but only stays till it leaves us. Everything changes and passes with the seasons, and every single thing that happens for a reason. Some days it thunders and rains, others are quite dry, and the signs appear at their times up in the night sky. Calm before the storm, tempers rise and fall in the universal law. Rhythms behind the door. Luck sways your way, it comes and it goes. It's hot till it snows and calm till the wind blows. Open your windows till you gotta close them again. The cosmic rhythm of the universe blows in the wind as it passes through the ethers. You could blast it through your speakers. This here is for the masses and the masters and the teachers and the pastors and the preachers and the priestesses and imams, the pagans and the Sagans, the Degrassi's and the Elons. One thing you should know is the flow and the rhythm go hand in hand with the law of magnetism, and it's all written in the annals of God's wisdom. We descend and ascend again within our star system. Every end's a new beginning as the cycle flows, so live in the rhythm of the light when life unfolds, with the patterns of Venus and Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Neptune, Mercury, Sun, Moon, and the stars. The sun sets and rises, water melts and freezes. The night turns to day, but only stays till it leaves us. Everything changes and passes with the seasons, and every single thing that happens for a reason. Some days it thunders and rains, others are quite dry, and the signs appear at their times up in the night sky. Calm before the storm, tempers rise and fall in the universal law. Rhythms behind the door. The sun sets and rises, water melts and freezes. The night turns to day, but only stays till it leaves us. Everything changes and passes with the seasons, and every single thing that happens for a reason. Some days it thunders and rains, others are quite dry, and the signs appear at their times up in the night sky. They calm before the storm, tempers rise and fall in the universal law. Rhythms behind it all. When the stars light up the heavens and the new moon is shining down, you know time is of the essence, and there's no better time than now. It's a Saturday night and we're feeling alright. Whatever you do, do whatever you like. Don't need an excuse to step in the light. Every night we like to celebrate life. We celebrate life. Every day, 24/7, you know what they say, it's always sunny in heaven, but life on earth is full of cloudy days. So some days we feel crazy and out of place, and still we gotta stand tall and walk around with grace, instead of with head down and a frown on your face. Whatever life throws at you, make the best of it. It's never too late to catch it from 100-point deficit. I confide in a provider with the eye in the sky, and I try to live every day like I never die. I was young and said one day I'm gonna fly, cause I'll never know what's possible if I never try. I don't hold on to grudges, I say goodbye. No tooth for a tooth or an eye for an eye. We only have the here and now, so if I dwell on yesterday or tomorrow, then I'm gonna miss today. Saturday night and one and come all. There's a party in the stars where love is the law. But if you're a drama queen with a crown and a throne, I know it's bound to sound mean, but leave your problems at home. Cause this quadrant of space is full of shining faces. Some face trauma before they learn to tie their laces. Buried in memories that the mind replaces with the kind of pain inside not even time erases. You could dwell on it forever and get stuck in the past. To live in the moment, you never know, it could be your last. They say we all die one day, but never say where we go though. They only yell YOLO cause they don't know. It's Saturday night and we're feeling alright. Whatever you do, do whatever you like. Don't need an excuse to step in the light. Every night we like to celebrate life. So you better count your blessings. The what, where, the why, and how. Because time is of the essence, and there's no better time than now. Saturday night and we're feeling alright. Whatever you do, do whatever you like. Don't need an excuse to step in the light. Every night we like to celebrate life. Because time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. It's Saturday night and we're feeling alright. Whatever you do, do whatever you like. Don't need an excuse to step in the light. Every night we like to celebrate life. The shooting stars light up the heavens. It's Saturday night and we're feeling alright. You know time is of the essence. Every night we celebrate life. We celebrate life. On that cold December night, the war was raging on. Seemed there's no end in sight when he was paid a visit by a couple men in white that he couldn't see or hear till they appeared bending light. He was told to grab a notepad and a pen to write what they said, even if he thought nothing they said was right. Word for word to the letter, dot his I's, cross his T's, perfect punctuation, periods, commas, apostrophes. The messengers who dictated these sentences were visitors to planet Earth, but he must never mention this. And so they spoke and they spoke while he wrote and he wrote, not believing the words that he heard and hope were a joke. Side note, you probably wouldn't believe him either, dear reader, until you saw their demeanor when they said that your nation's on the brink of destruction is nice, so stop thinking too much and just write. They say the players play and the schemers scheme, the hustlers hustle and the dreamers dream, and the fiends will fiend for any kind of addiction, oblivious to truth, stranger than science fiction, too caught up in their own world with all their focus focus, and their noses in their phones. They don't even notice that something just ain't right. You feel it in the air, and the evidence is everywhere, hidden in plain sight. And so it was up on that 23rd floor, while the whole world was headed toward this bloody third war, that he couldn't believe his own ears when he heard more. They didn't tell him who they were or him who they worked for. Folks so focused on Big Brother's eyes in disguise, they're oblivious to all the foreign spies in disguise in every city and university across the nation, all levels of government and every corporation, stealing information, ideas and innovation, instigating civil war at the heart of the nation, dividing and conquering every organization, while covert agents orchestrate a foreign invasion. Propaganda machines stack lies on top of lies and blackmail as people in key positions compromised. They'll start a war for a smoke and mirror distraction. You look over there, unaware over here's all the action. They say the players play and the schemers scheme, the hustlers hustle and the dreamers dream, and the fiends will fiend for any kind of addiction. Oblivious to truth, stranger than science fiction, too caught up in the wrong world with all their focus and their noses in their phones. They don't even notice that something just ain't right. You feel it in the air, and the evidence is everywhere, hidden in plain sight. Is ticking, infiltrated and surrounded by the opposition. The enemies everywhere, folks don't even suspect it, sneaking in and out and around without being detected. Uber drivers, doctors, teachers, neighbors, European and Asian sleeper agents with specific missions once they're activated. Now every state in the nation has increased surveillance. It's endgame, they're playing for higher stakes with weapons that tear through the fabric of time and space. And now they blended right into their hiding place. Their mission's the destruction of the United States of America.
If somebody is sitting for 10 hours unmoving, obviously no sense of body. Once somebody has become that loose inside, he may find the door. It'll be wonderful for him, but not good for me. I'll also… my soldiers go to disturb his meditation and his spiritual process, spiritual process, spiritual process, spiritual process.
You only see the sides of him that he's showing, makes you think he's there to empower you. The devil in disguise, a wolf in sheep's clothing, waiting patiently to devour you. Mixing truth with lies, the words just keep flowing. I'd learn to discern if I were you. You realize you don't wanna go where he's going. Be mindful of who you give your power to. Beware soothsayers, liars, false teachers, self-appointed gurus, so-called preachers, false prophets for profit and cult leaders. Do your research before you jump in feet first. The teachings were legitimate as far as you knew. They speak of light, but then at night practice black voodoo. Like Sadhguru, don't let that man fool you. There's blood on his hands, his plans bring bad juju. A spiritual guide who doesn't want to liberate you and sends his men to block you when you get a breakthrough. Leaving your body's good for you but bad for him, so he sends his soldiers over to put you back again. If liberation is the goal of meditation, that's ridiculous. Maybe he just doesn't want you to see who he really is. What if what is hiding behind that mask is hideous? So he keeps folks in the dark and treats them like idiots. His words seem moral, but at the core they're insidious. I'm serious, he may not be what it appears he is. It's curious, he said his wife chose to leave her body, though he was a teacher and he still hadn't even reached somebody. You only see the sides of him that he's showing, makes you think he's there to empower you. The devil in disguise, a wolf in sheep's clothing, waiting patiently to devour you. Mixing truth with lies, the words just keep flowing. I'd learn to discern if I were you. You realize you don't wanna go where he's going. Be mindful of who you give your power to. Preachers and spiritual teachers scream from the pulpit, having parishioners ready to empty a full clip in the name of God with names written on each bullet. Well, they pull their wallets out and calling out the bullshit. How's a message of love and peace get mistranslated? And how does so much hatred come out of something sacred? Christian extremists twisting the teachings of Jesus. Did you really read the Bible or just rip it to pieces? I just heard this one vermin preaching a sermon saying LGBT stands for let God burn them, claiming authority on something that don't concern him. You do better to stop talking and start discerning. If you don't know anything about God, don't pretend to. Creator doesn't partake in the evil that men do. How you judge somebody without knowing what they've been through? You don't do that if you have the Holy Spirit in you. It's no wonder you have everybody in there lost, displaying your Savior half naked, bloody on the cross, preaching fire and brimstone when you're hellbound. You should shut the hell up and then step the hell down. You only see the sides of him that he's showing. Makes you think he's there to empower you. A devil in disguise, a wolf in sheep's clothing, waiting patiently to devour you. Mixing truth with lies, the words just keep flowing. I'd learn to discern if I were you. You realize you don't wanna go where he's going. Be mindful of who you give your power to. Be mindful of who you give your power to. Be mindful of who you give your power to. My freshman year, my professor, who seemed to dig some of the papers I wrote, asked me what I was going to do for my thesis paper, and I said I was going to write about intelligent design. He said, "Oh, I thought you would have picked something harder. That's too easy to disprove nowadays." I said, "No, I was going to argue for it." And he said, "You're a smart kid. Don't tell me you think some guy in the sky with a long white beard created all this, Dave." I said, "No, wait, so you don't think this world is the creation of God? So what, this universe just happened? What are the odds that this beautifully intricate physical system just sprang into existence without knowledge or wisdom? They say Darwin killed creationism, science killed religion. Too smart for their own good, they lack spiritual vision. They can't wrap their brains around a mind so advanced. What's the chance this is all just the result of happenstance? It's like one in infinite odds that our perfect habitat could just arise from the luck of the draw. Imagine that, and imagine that it's some of our so-called smartest scientific minds who deny the divine artist whose trademark is the golden ratio and spiral. Everywhere I go, I see the creator's style and fingerprints all over everything that I see, with every parameter fine-tuned so precisely. You're blind to the divine if you see no wisdom behind this most beautifully designed ecosystem. The plants and the flowers are pollinated by bees, and the pollen is spread around when it blows in the breeze. It wouldn't even be possible for us to breathe without exchanging oxygen and CO2 with the trees. The algae and the temperature, the birds and the weather, everything here is connected, all working together. But they say this precious earth is not a product of intelligence. She just so happens to have all the essential elements. It must have been luck that formed the organs and skeletons of humans and fish and birds and lions and elephants. Was it just random chance that made me this way, that programmed the genetic coding into my DNA? Some even say this is all there is. To me that seems strange, since their eyes only perceive a certain frequency range. They don't believe it if they can't see it, touch or hear it. But the senses don't always interpret matters of the spirit. How those metallic ores get close enough to the surface for us to mine and find their technological purpose? Did the moon randomly become just the right size? Cause if it were any bigger, we'd we'd have too high of tides, and gravity's just right to serve its purpose. If it were stronger, the earth would have a smoother surface, and it'd become a water world, and we'd be floating away. But the continents and mountains keep the oceans at bay. If our sun were more massive, our ozone layer would be eaten by radiation from solar flares. It'd kill the polar bears, the ice caps would melt. But it isn't, and they think it's just the cards we were dealt that account for this system and how smooth it's run, allowing us to see the wonders of the moon and sun. We have the perfect vantage point to see a solar eclipse, because the sun's 400 times the size and distance of the moon, which puts us in a perfect location to witness it and then give it a standing ovation. What are the odds that we have the perfect concentration of chemical compounds and the perfect combination? The only reason that we can see so clear is due to the precise amount of oxygen in the air. If there were more elements with carbon atoms here, we wouldn't have such a transparent atmosphere. Around 20% O2 is exactly what we require, and the exact amount needed to facilitate fire. Whoever said this world isn't designed is either a liar, or it's time that they project their mind a little higher. The whole reason that we hold creation sacred is because it took an ingenious mind to make it. And if Creator didn't love us and want us to thrive, then why provide us with a planet for us to survive? The only planet fine-tuned with every condition for us to survive and thrive in this solar system. Open up your eyes. This universe that you're seeing, in which we are living and moving and breathing, was an idea, then a creation of God's. And its finely tuned precision defies all odds. A 1% change in the strong nuclear force would hinder all carbon and oxygen produced in the stars. A slight difference in proton, neutron mass, and nuclear fission would cease, and life wouldn't last. And the precision of the cosmological constant is 1 part in a number too large for me to pronounce it. It's like 1 in 100 million billion 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 billion. That's a 1 with 54 zeros after it. And believe it or not, those odds are dead on accurate, which is far too precise to be the luck of the draw. So obviously it's the result of a law, and I don't think luck or chance produce natural laws. So they must be the effect of an intelligent cause, who endowed us with the faculties for us to discover it, and for scientists to study nature and fall in love with it. There are so many different religions divided into sects who have countless interpretations of the same texts that try to describe matters that are so complex in terms that are often taken out of context, which leads to problems, wars, and persecution, competing to see who comes up with the worst solution, it seems, instead of resolving it by ending division, by coming together and uniting science and religion to form a spirituality that's universal, so we can see that our true nature's infinite and eternal. No, I don't know a whole lot, but this I know for sure, and it's a simple fact that's really hard to ignore. I've seen a lot of amazing, ingenious inventions with intricate systems and powerful engines, from fast cars, airplanes, and rocket ships to particle accelerators and microchips and telescopes that give us a view of the heavens, communication devices, and all kinds of weapons, and everything that led the human species to dominance. And it only took a little bit of common sense to see that what gave rise to every one of these designs wasn't luck and it wasn't chance, but intelligent minds. And of everything that's ever been, there's never been a system more eloquently designed than this universe we live in.
And he said, well, first of all, I think you meant elegantly. How can you design something eloquently? And I said, with eloquently spoken words like, and so it is. And so it is. And so it is.